on YouTube. This is the very latest news from Fabulous 103 and the Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. It would be great if you liked and subscribed to us.
As Thailand prepares for the price increase expected for crude oil on the world market following the recent escalation of issues in Iran, so Cambodia may have scored an own goal at the weekend, as authorities there have banned the import of oil and gas from Thailand in the continued tit-for-tat series of responses following the disagreement over a borderline in the northeast. Only a few days ago, Thailand announced a freeze on diesel prices at the pumps, giving news that it currently holds at least 2 months' supply of fuel. And that one is just likely to have risen to 3 months, as exports to its neighbour are now mixed. As Thailand's Prime Minister continues to face multiple calls for her to quit following the published phone call between her and the former Prime Minister of Cambodia, so many are highlighting the close relationship between her, her father and other family members with those in power there. Here, she at the weekend scrabbled together a new cabinet following the mass exodus of her major coalition partner. And Thai media appears to be watching to see how or even if she will survive the onslaught of calls for her resignation. She, though, went on record as stating that all of the remaining coalition partners are on board and supportive of her and her leadership. As Bangkok, along with tourist regions, reckoned with the increase in minimum daily wage rates to 400 baht a day, so the Thai Wage Committee has announced fixed minimum wages for 13 work skills nationally that could see some guaranteed up to 900 baht a day. Within 3 months, employers will have to have adjusted to changes that see, for example, bus drivers on 600 baht a day minimum, crane operators 620, truck operators 495, and those working in computer network administration seeing the biggest hike. Bad news for one of the expats, as from now on, if you don't have a Thai driving licence, you will be required to take a written test. Up until now, an international driving licence has seen most able to simply take the response tests and get their licences. From now on, a written test must be passed. And that, of course, means that those paying dubious companies to get licences without attending will join the queues with the majority at the licensing centres. For those who have licences already, you're unaffected. For those new, well, it's time to study for the pretty simple exam, as you would in most Western countries and indeed the US too. Wildlife protection teams in Chanthaburi were hailed as heroes this weekend, as despite a herd of wild elephants being close by, they rescued a baby elephant from a pond. It seems that the herd trusted the team and didn't become aggressive, but rather grateful, as rangers used ropes and pulleys to extract the calf, which, once safe, quickly joined the herd. The rescue, shared on social media, showed the skill of the team in more ways than one, as locals had warned of the dangers of the herd attacking, which luckily they didn't. Meanwhile at home, at a raid on the Bangvamung residence, saw authorities discovering a huge call centre run by Koreans. 21 foreigners arrested along with proof of everything from investment scamming to romance touting, saw all but one of them taken into custody, with the one remaining taken to hospital, as he jumped from an upper window to try and escape, but broke his ankle in the fall. Sky of blue, sea of green. Words from the Beatles song rang true in 2 ways this weekend, as in one case the ocean around Maglua changed colour overnight to green, with the plankton bloom causing concern amongst those who don't realise that it's actually an almost annual natural phenomenon. It will go slowly, and meanwhile isn't hazardous but does prevent swimming. But in better news, hundreds of Beatles fans, young and old, packed the Lomnooch Stadium to enjoy the Mersey Beatles one-off concert, dancing in the aisles, singing along, and an audience full of smiles, with the audience saying that it was the best they'd ever seen. The lads had been worried about ticket sales, but they needn't have been, and promoters promised that one day in the future they'll be back for sure. And with the Met Office promising highs today of 32 degrees dropping down to 27, 40% humidity though, A cloudy day with thunderstorms in spots in the afternoon, and the real feel of 36.
Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or program, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.